it's really fascinating. Actually, I was present for one of the major dynamics, so I can speak a little bit about that. When I joined the group in 2011, we did a Christmas concert of mostly carols in a somewhat traditional style in the fall, and that was our fall concert. And then in the spring, we would do a musical that was completely open. A lot of times they did Gilbert and Sullivan, or they did other classics like Music Man. And what was interesting to me is that we had two completely different groups of constituents and members from the fall to the spring, and there was no consistency. And when I asked around, I said, are there any other groups in the city, because I was new, that are doing musical theater in a Broadway or West End style? And I was told the answer was no. I said, well, it seems to me like there are a lot of other groups now doing choral arrangements of a Christmas variety or of a more traditional classical variety, but no one else is doing musical theater. Maybe we need to switch our fall show to also be in that kind of musical genre. And so we tested that out the very next year. So that would have been the fall of 2012 was the first time we did what we typically refer to as a musical review, which is a bunch of Broadway songs put into one concert. And it was a really big hit with the audience. And what that meant was we then kept the same members from semester to semester. And so that was the point at which Abu Dhabi Choral Group really started going into a musical theater direction almost solely in terms of musical style. And I think that before that, they had really had a sort of split personality. And so it's interesting to see how we've been able to build up audience members, backstage members, people who are just have general interest in the group because we are staying consistent in one musical style.
It's interesting, isn't it? How long have you been in the group, Fiona?
So I joined for The Wedding Singer, January 2013, and I've been there ever since. This is my third musical with the company, and I've done 2 fall shows. And out of them, I've directed 4.
And is your background in theatre directing?
No, not at all. I started drama and amateur dramatics from a very young age. I was 7 when I first sort of started treading the boards, I suppose. I was taking part in a lot of amateur dramatics back in Scotland. So when I got to Abu Dhabi, the natural progression seemed to be, I've done my time on stage now, so let's try my hand at directing. And it's going okay.
Good.
It's not bad.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. And what about you, Alana? Can I ask about your background as well?
Sure. I was a classically trained singer for a long time, though I didn't study it in school when I was in university, but I did when I was doing high school education and middle school education and everything before that. My grandmother was a trained opera singer from Juilliard, and so she was very invested in my musical abilities. And moving to New York City really kills your spirit a little bit because you know a lot, and a lot of people are better than you. And I think when you're 18, you don't really know how to deal with that kind of rejection and know just to push forward if you do even have any talent at all. And so I stopped for a while, and I felt like it was really a part of my life that was lacking. And I moved here in the summer of 2010 and discovered the group in the fall of 2011. And it was something that I realized at that point was absolutely missing that ADCG was filling. And it's been really great to get back into performing, especially in a community environment. We have so much dedication from our audience members, so much dedication from the technical crew. And it really is an incredibly stressful and an incredibly fun experience. And it's a great way to be a performer when you also have another career. I mean, I love my job and I don't intend on changing that part of my life. And it's really fabulous to be able to do both at the same time.
Can I ask about the group? Because you do these great big performances and, everything chucked at it, and they're great fun. What level of expertise do you have to be to draw? Because I wonder whether some people might be a bit into like, oh, there's no way I could do a full show. What would you say? I'll ask you first, Alana, on the chair. What level of expertise would you need to be?
It's funny because we have every different level of ability in the group. That's not even the best way to phrase it. It's not an ability thing. I mean, we are a community group open to any and everyone joining, short of being tone deaf. I mean, the bare minimum is that you can copy something sung that you hear on the piano. What's really great about Abu Dhabi Choral Group is that we do the concert in the fall, so that really gives you a chance to get your feet wet. It's not a full production, and I think that it gives you a flavor for what the spring show will be like if you want to be involved in that production. But in every show that we do, we make sure there are different levels of participation in a way that you can take part of. So if you want to be a chorus member in a limited amount of numbers, we can accommodate that. If you want to be a chorus member in a lot of numbers, we can accommodate that. It's a lot of fun, and there are a lot of different ability and interest levels that take part in the group for sure.
Super. Okay, so that reassure anybody listening who thinking they might want to join.
I can about hold a tune. Just about.
You're directing them?
Yeah, that's why. That's part of the reason moving to direction, because I can just about sing. Ish.
Why Legally Blonde? Why did you pick this one? I'll ask you, Fiona.
So when Legally Blonde was talked about, it was the automatic selection for me on a personal level because I just love the show, and I think it will go down really well with audiences in Abu Dhabi because it's just so fun and the music's so catchy and energetic, and you won't leave without a tune in your head wanting to dance and tapping your toe.
And you're performing at this time, I think, 2 new venues for you guys.
That's right.
Okay, can I ask you then, Alana? Sure. I mean, because the one on the Abu Dhabi Theatre on the Breakwater, that's a super venue, isn't it?
It's massive. Yeah, we've never performed anywhere that big. It definitely keeps me up at night a little bit thinking of performing to potentially and hopefully an audience of 700 people, which is what the theater can take. But I can't think about that right now.
And also, you've moved on. Your ticket sales are now moved online, haven't they?
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, first time for us, so that's really great.
Do you want to give me then the details, where you're going to be performing, when you're going to be, how people can get tickets?
Yeah. Okay, so we are in the Abu Dhabi Folklore Theatre, which is near Al Wada Mall, Thursday, April the 30th, and Friday, May the 1st. We've got 2 shows, one at 2 p.m. and one at 7:30 p.m. Then we move into the Abu Dhabi Theatre, which is at the Breakwater at Marina Mall, from the 7th until the 9th, with 2 performances on the 8th, and then Monday, May 11th is our closing night.